Hello, it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines. We have the first group of the Jerusalem pilgrims arrives in Mecca. The Jerusalem Army Forces celebrate their 46th anniversary in the interior regions. On the international scene, Lula da Silva announces a new plan against the deforestation of the Amazon. Welcome to our newsroom. The first group of pilgrims from Djibouti left Medina, the city of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, yesterday for Mecca. The 120 Jerusalem pilgrims dressed in clothes made up of the two pieces of white clothes for the men, headed for Mecca with the rolling stock of the Ministry of Hajj Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to carry out the Umrah activities prior to the Great Pilgrimage under the aegis of the Djibouti Committee for the Organization and Coordination of the Hajj 2023. Dispatched by the Minister of Muslim Affairs and Waqf, the pilgrims arrived at Miqadul al-Hulayfa, the place where the Prophet, peace be upon him, began his Umrah, the one and only pilgrimage that the Messenger of God carried out in his life. Before starting the Umrah ritual, the pilgrims prayed 2 raka'ah inside this mosque. After more than 8 hours on the road between Medina and Mecca, the Jerusalem pilgrims finally arrived in Mecca yesterday afternoon at around 5 p.m. In particular at their places of residence, which is less than 2 kilometers from Mecca. The organizing committee has made every effort to facilitate the pilgrims' journey to Mecca and their installation. It should be noted that the organizing committee, including a team of health personnel made up of 2 doctors, nurses, and female baggage handler, all of whom are on hand to provide care and advice to pilgrims. On this occasion, the executives of the organizing committee, led by Mr. Ilmi Noor Jama, paid an inspection visit to the site set up for the consultations to assess the stock of medicines and the availability of health personnel. The Minister of Equipment and Infrastructure, His Excellency Hassan Hamad Arbahim, held a working meeting with the Standing Intergovernmental Committee on Shipping East Coast. A regional maritime organization is operating in Eastern, Southern, and North Africa in order to strengthen their collaborative efforts on common concern in the maritime transport sector. East Coast took part in the training on procedures and processes for international trade in goods. The Minister explained that to Mr. Daniel Kyong, Secretary General of East Coast, and Mr. Kasim Pata, Deputy Secretary General and Director of Administrations and Finance, the potential Djibouti has to offer and the major infrastructure to have been built to facilitate international trade. The meeting took place in the presence of the Director of Maritime Affairs, Mr. Ali Mirah Shehan Daoud. The East Coast delegation is looking forward to a more cooperative and participative relationship with the Republic of Djibouti in order to integrate Djibouti in the East Coast and benefit from its inclusion and expertise. On Wednesday, 7 June 2023, the Committee on Legislation, General Administration and Human Rights, chaired by Honorable Khaltoum Farah Saeed, examined draft law number 009 EN 23 NL 9L on the creation of a national agency for the promotion of sport. The meeting, which was attended by the members and non-members of the parliamentary committee, was attended by Hassan Mohammed Kamil, the Secretary of State for Sports, accompanied by his close collaborator. After a rich and instructive debate, the Legislation Committee forwarded the bill to the next public sessions with a favorable opinion and proposed a number of amendments. Like other regions, like the capitals, the Artas region had the honor to celebrate the 46th anniversary of the creation of the Djibouti Armed Forces. This year's commemorative ceremony was attended by the Deputy Prefect, Mr. Mohamed Fouzi Ahmed, the President of the Regional Council, Ilmi Bouh Goudade, and the commanders of the Rapid Action Forces in the Artas region, Commander Mahmoud Omar Farah, the unit commanders of the WIA, Major Ahmed Qaise Daher, the head of the other regional security corps, officials from the decentralized state services, civil servant, traditional chief, and other guests took their place on the chairs lined up in the Shadi Gallery. The ceremony began with with the review of troop of the soldiers of the forces that rapid actionists from the Artas region. On his arrival, the deputy prefect was welcomed by the regional commanders of the Artas regions, Commander Mahmoud Omar Farah, before saluting the national flag and performing the traditional troop of review. After the troop review, the deputy prefect, accompanied by the president of the regional council, went to the foot of the monument dedicated to the martyr to lay a wreath of flowers in memory of our national heroes who sacrificed their lives and who also to read the Fatiha at the end of the ceremony to mark the 45th anniversary. The young folklore group led the rest of the ceremony in a very convivial atmosphere to the rhythms of traditional song and dances.
واعظهم من عذاب القبر ومن فتنة النار اللهم لا تحرمنا أجرهم ولا تفتنا بعدهم واغفر اللهم لنا ولهم ولجميع أموات المسلمين. الفاتحة لهم.
bishajuun waa bixitikeena waa bodadeena waa bodadeena bishajuun waa bixitikeena alayoho bidhaaraatiyo ili waxaad wadaagtaa
Following the example of other corps of the National Army based in all regions of the country, the Ali Sabih Inter-Armies Battalion, Biassa, from the Harbi military camp in the town of Aska, celebrated the 46th anniversary of the Djiboutian Armed Forces with dignity under the command of Colonel Roble Mohammed Abdallah. And the Djibouti Armed Forces were created on 6 June in 1977, 20 days before the anniversary of the national independence celebration is in the early hours of this scorching hot day. The celebration of the 46th anniversary of the armed forces got underway before the first rays of sunshine warmed the atmosphere. At Camp Harbi in Ali Sabih, the armed forces anniversary celebrations began with the customary solemn review of the troop by Colonel Roble Mohammed Abdallah, accompanied by the regional prefect and the president of the regional council of the Ali Sabih regions and the president of the armed forces. The event was attended by the region's prefect Musa Aden Migane, the president of the regional council Sharmaki Hassan Al-Lale, the head of the other regional security corps, heads of decentralized state services, civil servant, traditional chief, and other guests seated on the chairs lined up in the Shadley Gallery.
L'occasion du 46e anniversaire de la création de l'armée djiboutienne.
The soldiers from Djibouti Armed Forces contingent stationed at the site then took part in a parade along the road lined with the national flags at the entrance to their barracks. The celebration of the 46th anniversary ended with the laying of a wreath of flowers on a corners of the site dedicated to the memories of our martyrs who died fighting for their country.
ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا
اللهم اغفر لشهدائنا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اغفر لشهدائنا.
Following the example of other national army corps in all regions of the countries, the Dikil regions, which had the honor of celebrating the 45th anniversary of the creation of the Djiboutian Armed Forces. This year's commemorative ceremony was attended by the participation of the prefect of Dikil, Mr. Adan Darar Musa, and the president of the regional council, Mahad Hussein Ahmed, and the Dikil Inter-Armies Regiment, Colonel Ibrahim Ali Farah, chief of the other regional security corps, head of the decentralized services, and civil servant officials, traditional chief, and other guests took their seat in the chair lined up in the Shadli Gallery. The ceremony began with a review of the troop of the corps of the regiment Inter-Armies of Dikil.
Au drapeau! Je tiens à ce jour mémorable
On his arrival, the prefect of Dakhil was welcomed by the commanders or commanding officers of the Dakhil Joint Regiment, Colonel Ibrahim Ali Farwah, before saluting the national flag and taking part in the traditional review of the troop. After reviewing the troop, the prefect, accompanied by the president of the regional council, went to the foot of the monument dedicated to the martyrs to lay a wreath of flowers in the memory of our national heroes who sacrificed their lives, and also read the Fatiha. Like other corps in the National Army, the Obok Inter-Army Regiment celebrated the 46th anniversary of the Egyptian Armed Forces under the command of Colonel Ilyas Omar Yusuf. As soon as he arrived, the prefect Abdul Malik Mohammed Benoita was welcomed by the regional commanders of the Obok regions, Colonel Ilyas Omar Yusuf. In the Riao camp in Obok, the Armed Forces anniversary began with the customary solemn review of the troop by Colonel Ilyas Omar Yusuf, accompanied by the regional prefect Abdul Malik Mohammed Benoita. The ceremony was also attended by the president of the regional council, Mohammed Ahmed Ismail, the Honorable Member of Parliament, Kamil Hamad Ahmed, Musa Hassan Haisama, president of the Obok Youth Associations, and the elders. Immediately afterwards, Colonel Ilyas Omar Yusuf read the speeches reporting the message wishing happy birthday of the chief of the Chief of Staff of the Egyptian National Armies to all its members, whatever their rank.
Yeah.
l'ordre du jour du CMGA.
The soldiers from Riao FAD contingent took part in a parade inside the specially equipped barracks. Marked out the many national flags and the entrance to their barracks. At the end, a wreath of flowers was laid on a corners of the site dedicated to the memory of the members of the FAD who died for their countries. The prefect of the region, Abdul Malik Mohammed Benoita, and Colonel Ilyas Omar Yusufa.
En tête, commandé par les Hassan Mahmoud Abdullahi, officier SA. Awet Abdelmi, lieutenant Ahmed Douba, chef du détachement d'intervention. Le bloc, deuxième bloc est commandé par le lieutenant Ahmed Hassan Jamal, l'officier STR d'intervention. Adam Maraka.
أحييته منا فأحييه على الإسلام ومن توفاه منا فتوفه على الإيمان اللهم لا تحرمنا أجره ولا تضلنا بعده وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد الفاتح
Like the rest of the country, the 45th anniversary of the Egyptian Armed Forces was celebrated in the white city of Tajara Joint Forces Regiment headed by Colonel Major Ali Shahin Dawood. The tedious ceremony was attended by the prefect of the region, Hassan Dabali Ahmed, the president of the regional council, Umar Hussein Umar, and Sultan Ali Habib, as well as the elders and gendarmerie and police officers and officials of the civil society. The day began with the taking up of arms, followed by a military parade on foot and a motorized regiment.
Je tiens en ces jours même.
Soldiers from the Riati contingent in the Tajora region took part in a parade through the barracks, especially set up for the 45th anniversary celebrations of the Egyptian Armed Forces. The prefect of the region, Hassan Dabeli Ahmed, then led a race at the Martyr Monument in memory of our national heroes who sacrificed their lives to bring independence to our country. For the international scene, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has presented a new plan to combat illegal deforestation in the Amazon. Brazil, thanks to in particular to the Amazon rainforest, plays a major role in balancing the planet's climate. Preventing deforestation in the Amazon also means helping to reduce global warming, declared Lula during a reception at the presidential palace in Brasilia. The plan, which includes several hundred objectives, includes, for example, the immediate seizures of half of all illegal lodged areas within the protected zones by 2027. 3 million hectares of these conservation areas will be demarcated. It has also announced the hirings of thousands of analysts to set up surveillance and creation of an Amazon label to promote a sustainable economy. This project marks the return of environmental issues as a priority after 4 years of indifference and neglect. Lula was delighted to announce on World Environment Day. And to close up this edition, Sudanese refugees are flooding into the Central African Republic. Sudanese generals have been fighting for more than 2 months, and as a result, thousands of their compatriots are pouring into the neighboring countries. More than 315,000 people according to the United Nations in the Central African Republic. The figure is 40,000 according to the data from the High Commissioners for Refugees and the World Food Programme. These people will have to be relocated quickly, and we are running out of times to make sure the rains does not find them here in Dafok. Otherwise, it will be difficult, explains the UNHCR Data Management Associate. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.